So hey guys, today we're going to be sewing our halter top. I have my tape, I have my scissors, I have my ruler, I have my masking tape, we have our measurements book, and here is my marker to mark out my lines. So first and foremost, we're just going to go right into our sewing. Okay, first we're just going to be doing a basic bodice pattern. Basically, I'm going to start from here. Okay, so we're going to mark out our lines. That is, we're going to mark out our chest line. The chest line I'm going to be using for this top is 8. 8 to be our chest line. I'm going to mark out my bust line. I'm going to mark out my waistline, which is 16. And then I want to make the top into a basque, so I have a basque waist, a basque waistline. So I'm just going to add extra 4 inches, so it's going to stop at 20. So the length of our top is going to be 20, guys. So we're just gonna mark this again here so as to make our lines more accurate. We're gonna mark it here again as well. So there we go. Now we're going to join our lines together. So guys, just remember we did not mark our under bust line, so we're gonna do that. My under bust is 13 inches. So we're just gonna do that. There we go. So now this is our line, this is our chest. I'm making that with a C, chest, bust line with a B, under bust with a U, B, under bust line. This is our waistline to W, and this is our full length of top, which is F, L, full length, or our basque waist. So there you have it. These are all the lines that we need to draft this top. Like I said, we're going to be drafting a basic bodice pattern first before we maneuver our way into the halter top. So now we're just going to mark out rather our lines. I'm going to measure my shoulder line. So my shoulder is 14. I'm sorry, my shoulder is 15. 15 divided by 2, that's 7.5. Here we have 7.5. So I'm just gonna mark that real quick. 7.5. Okay. So we're also gonna mark that on the chest line to form our armhole. 7.5. Here we go. Now we're gonna connect these two lines together to form our armhole. Remember, our armhole is 8 inches, 8 inches wide. So we're just gonna make a curve here. I'm using 1 inch, 1 inch at the center here, like so. So we're just gonna carve that out. blend it into the line. I do not have a ruler for this, guys, so I just use freehand. If you have a ruler, you can as well make use of your ruler. So I don't like going straight, so I'm just going to bring this in by half an inch. Okay, half an inch. So I'm going to connect this together. So this is it. So now we're going to mark out our armhole. I said armhole. We're going to mark out our neckline. So my wideness, the width of my neckline is 3 inches, and the length, that's the depth. The depth of my neckline is 3 inches as well. So like I said, I do not have a ruler, a curve rule, so I'm just gonna make a straight line. Make a straight line here as well. Then we're gonna just curve that out. I want you guys to see, so I'm just gonna do it from here. Just gonna curve that out. Just gonna make a quick sketch just to get some accurate line. So yeah, this is it. So the neck of our halter top is going to be a V neck, not exactly a V, curved V. So we don't actually need this, but then we're going to use this to draft our tie, our halter tie. I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say. Don't worry, you're gonna see it at the end of the video. But basically what we need to do now is we're going to take in half an inch from the neck, like so. I'm just gonna take it in like this, and then we're also going to come from the shoulder and take half an inch as well out. Okay, so this is half an inch. We're supposed to take 1, but then like we need an allowance, which is why I'm using half. Anyway, we're gonna be taking half an inch. I don't want to confuse you guys, so we're just gonna connect these lines together like so. So here you have it, guys. We're gonna extend this line eventually, and it's going to serve as our rope to tie the neck, because it's a halter neck top, the one that you can tie. So this line is still here. We're going to connect it to our V. Okay, so before we put in our measurements, our top measurements, we're just going to draft our dart first. So by drafting your dart, all you need to do is to measure the length, measure the space from your nipple to nipple, and then you divide by 2. My nipple to nipple is 8, so I'm dividing 8 by 2, which is going to give me 4. So we're just going to impute that in our bust line, in our under bust line, in our waistline, and our full length of top as well. So now we're just going to join these lines together. So here we go. So now drafting our dart, we're not going to start exactly from our bust line, because if we do that, it's going to give us like a pointy nipple space. So we're just going to go down. We're going to go down by, I hope you can see it, we're going to go down by 1 inch here. 1 inch, go down by 1 inch. So from here we're gonna draft our dart. But before then, let's just draft our neck V now. So I'm gonna go on the bust line here, and I'm gonna come down. I do not want my wig to start from my bust point, so I'm just gonna go down a little bit. You can leave it at your bust point if you don't want cleavage showing, or you can go down by 1 inch just so it shows some cleavage. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go down by 1 inch like so. So like I said before, I do not want a pointed V or a straight V. I want something curved, so I'm just going to curve this a little bit. Okay, first I'm just going to mark out 1/2 inch in to determine my curve, and then I'm gonna go up by 1/2 inch again. I hope you guys are following. I'm gonna go up by 1/2 inch again. This 1/2 inch doesn't really matter. I just want to get my curve right. So I'm gonna connect that to this line, this 1/2 inch that I took in from the neck piece. So we're just gonna blend or connect that together. Okay, I'm just gonna go in a little bit because I want to curve it, guys. I want to curve this part. I don't want it to be just pointed V. So I'm gonna retrace that line, and then I'm gonna stop there and just go ahead and curve it with my hand. Okay, so here we go. See the curve? Yeah, so that's what I want. So guys, for our darts, we're just gonna go in here by 1 inch on both sides to form our darts. 1 inch on both sides, 1 inch and 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch on both sides. Now I'm gonna connect it with a ruler. Just go in, connect those lines together. Okay, now connect the other line together as well. So voila, there you have it. So guys, I know this line isn't exactly curved. I'm gonna curve that out when I'm using my scissors to cut it. Okay, so now we're gonna input our actual measurements. I'm sure that's all what we've all been waiting for. So we're not gonna mind this part, guys. That's going to be taken out. We're just gonna do the norm, take our normal measurements. Okay, so for our bust point, my bust is 36. So 36 divided by 4, that is 9. So we're just gonna mark our 9. Okay, and then we're adding 1/2 inch for our sewing allowance. So here for our underbust is unnecessary. For our waist, I'm going to be using 29 inches. So that's going to give us, I think, 7.25. So here 7.25, you mark that out. So we're gonna come here to calculate our darts. So this is a 1 inch dart. This space is 1 inch, so we're gonna add it because we're gonna be cutting it out. Okay, so we're going to add it 1 inch, and then we're also gonna add our 1 inch allowance. Okay guys, this is going to be our basque. stitches. I know this is here, guys. I did not forget to just hold on. So now we're gonna connect these lines together. And connect it like so. So guys, also I'm using the normal armhole measurement to do my halter top, but if you want to go down a little bit, you can as well do that, and just like come down here by half an inch, and then you do your curve. Okay, so you can do that anyway. So now to form our basque, we're almost done, guys. This is just like the second to the last part. Okay, so now to form our basque waist, I'm just going to cut it up now. That's to form our basque. I'm just going to cut it out. Okay, I'll cut it out, then cut here out as well. I'm just gonna cut this part. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lap these together. So we're gonna just lap this together. Make sure it is in place. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. It'll be a little bit tricky, but you can do it, okay? It's not hard. You can do it. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Make sure the lines connect together, so you know you're getting into the lines connect together. Do not care about this place. Okay, so now this is where our masking tape come in. So now for the first part, I'm going to join that piece together. For the second part, this is just to get our basque waist. It's nothing special. That together as well. Now for this part, we're also gonna go in there as well. So now this is what we have. It is this way because of the dots. So to get our basque waist, all we need to do now is just, yes, I said just connect this point to this point. That's all. That's all you just need to do. Connect it together like so, and then we have our basque. We have everything that we need. So now we're just gonna go on ahead to cut. Go on ahead and cut it like so. Make sure you're getting the paper underneath as well. So we're gonna come here. Remember our curve. So you're gonna make sure you do not sabotage that. Just go with the curve it. Remember, if you also want to make a V, you could as well just draw the line straight to the point, straight to the center front. You don't need to curve anything. So guys, this is what we have. This is what we have. You can as well remove this now. It's not necessary anymore. Remove it just to allow it relax. So guys, see what we have. Just see what we have. See what we have, guys. So this is it. So you could while these tapes, the sellotapes were on, you could as well just cut your fabric like that. That way you wouldn't have to sew anything, any darts. You wouldn't have to sew any darts. You would have already placed the darts in the fabric that you're cutting. So there's that. Or cut it in this form, okay, and then just sew. Anything is possible. So now we're gonna extend. We're gonna extend this part, which is going to be our rope to tie the neck part of the halter neck top. To cut our necktie, all we need to do is just determine how long we want the necktie to be, because that's what we're going to use to tie the knots around our neck. So what we need to do is just place this. I mean, if you already have like a fabric that is long enough, I'm using this method because the paper wasn't long enough. So if you have a pattern paper that's long enough, you can as well do that. So I'm just going to sellotape this. So now all we're going to do is just extend this length. So now we're first going to determine how long do we want it to be. So I'm just going to add 7 inches to be on the safer side. This is ending on our shoulder, do not forget. And so the 7 inches is going to go around our neck, and then we're going to tie the knots. So 7 inches might be too much, it might be too small, but I'm just going to go with, I'm going to go with 8 inches because we're going to fold it, so that's going to be our allowance. So I'm just going to go with 8 inches, and I'm just going to mark that out. So now the next thing to do is to just extend this line. Okay, just extend this line like you were starting from here to connect your V down to this point. So just do that. Make sure it aligns with the beginning of this part, okay? So we're just gonna go here like so. You can see. And then we're also gonna, here it's supposed to be way tinier, so do not even be scared that it's too tiny. So we're just going to connect this part too as well. As you can see, this part is a little bit straight, so you're just gonna go on like that, make a straight line. Okay. So guys, this is everything. This is just it. We're gonna sellotape here to ensure that it doesn't remove. Remember guys, you can do whatever length that you want to do. It's up to you, it's not up to me. Do whatever length you want, however long you want it to be. I use 8, you can use 10, you can use 15, you can use 30. Can use anything. Yeah. So yeah guys, this is all for the front piece. Now for the back, I'm just going to place this like so. The back isn't hard at all. The back doesn't need a dart, so there we have it. We're just gonna mark out these lines here. I hope you can see. We're just gonna mark out these lines here like so, and then we're gonna rule it. Make sure it's straight, okay? Just gonna use my ruler. Make sure it's straight. Make sure it is straight, okay? So yeah, that's all we need. That's all we need. So we're just gonna mark out this line. The bottom part of the top for the back piece has to be straight, has to be equal. Okay, so we're just going to make that straight line. Besides, the back can be however long you want it, because we're also going to tie there as well. So it can be however long you want it to be. So guys, you can also do a zip back, but I'm doing a tie, a knot back. You guys should let me know if you want to see a zip kind of back, okay? So I'm just gonna make this as long as I want. I'm gonna make the length of the back to be this length. So guys, my video just went and cut by itself because of storage full. Anyway, what I did was so from that point that you saw, I calculated the length of this line, and I placed it on this side, and then I raised the bottom half, the bottom of the back. It wasn't straight, so it is actually slant, as you can see. So I just raised it from that point, that straight line that you saw, to 2 inches. I raised it up to 2 inches, and then for the upper parts, I also drew a straight line from this length. Drew a straight line from this line. I dropped it down. I went down by 2.5 inches. So basically, we're done. All we need to do now is allowances here, add allowances here, and add allowances here, and then transfer your fabric. Just 1/2 inch allowance. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching.